Welcome to the Coaching Closet. I'm your host, Richele. Have you ever put together an outfit that was just right, making you feel amazing from head to toe? It takes thought, planning, and effort to create that perfect look. In life, it's the same. It's like a unique puzzle with individual pieces that we must pay attention to in order for everything to work together. If something is missing, it's like walking out of the house with no pants on. Are you ready to piece together your puzzle of life? Let's go. Hi, welcome back to this episode of the Coaching Closet. Today I want to share with you my weight loss journey and how I took control after my health had gotten out of control. So most of my life I was in great health and I really did not struggle with my weight very much. Honestly, I grew up, I was one of those kids that I was very involved in dance and sports and very, very active. So I was fortunate. I have great genetics. Between that and being really active and having a mom who was really blessed to stay home with us and cooked great meals, healthy meals, I learned to eat pretty well. So vegetables and proteins and all that were just a part of my growing up experience, and I had a very diverse palate and did all that great stuff. But the only time I did struggle with weight was when I was pregnant with my daughters. The first time I got pregnant, I was 23, so I was really young. But, I got pregnant, I was really tiny, and then I just really packed on the pounds. I gained 60 pounds during that pregnancy, and I remember my doctor asking me what I was eating, and I was like, I'm eating the same things I've always eaten. But for some reason, I just was gaining and gaining and gaining weight. And so 60 pounds later, I gave birth to my daughter, and she was 8 pounds and 5 ounces. And I left the hospital maybe like 18, 20 pounds lighter. So it took a while to get that weight off, but it didn't take that long. And I was thin again. I was like a, size 4 or 6, very small. And I'm 5'8". So I was thin. So my second daughter, I had her at 29, and same thing again, packed on 60 more pounds. I just really, when I get pregnant, my body went into shock, I guess. After that pregnancy, it took me about 1.5 years to get it all off, but I did. And just through eating right, breastfeeding, exercise, it came off. And so I've always just been big on exercise and movement, gone to the gym, got into jazzercise and then Zumba and lifted weights periodically and just loved being active. So that's just been my thing. But when I got divorced in 2017, I got in some really unhealthy habits. And I think it was because I just had one child at home half the time. So when she wasn't at home, I wasn't cooking dinners for myself. I would just kind of snack, and it wasn't always healthy snacks. And then I would drink wine. I would just grab this, grab that, eat some chips and dips, call it dinner. And then I started going out with friends as I made friends, eating out, things like that. So, I packed on pounds here and there, 5, 10, 15, 20. So by the time 2020 hit, I was about 20 pounds up from when I got divorced, which really wasn't, it was like the top of my weight range, but it wasn't overweight. I was almost overweight, but not really. So then COVID hit, and I had just moved to an apartment. And so needless to say, that was when I really got into a health crisis with myself. And I was on Zoom calls with my singles community, and we'd have like Zoom happy hours and get-togethers. We did get out a little bit, but we had a lot of Zoom happy hours where we just sit and eat snacks and drink. And there wasn't any gyms to go to. There wasn't a lot of movement. And I was in an apartment, very small, and just wasn't getting out much. And so I put on another 20 pounds over the course of about, 8 months or so. And it just kept piling on. And at the same time, my hormones were in disarray. I went to perimenopause. And before I knew it, I was 40 plus pounds overweight over what I had been. And I was just disgusted with myself. And I'll never forget, it was summer of 2020. And my boyfriend, Jeff, and I were scheduled to go to dinner with friends. And I was desperately seeking something to put on. And I just couldn't find an outfit. And I would put a dress on, take it off, put another thing on, take it off. I was trying to find the loosest things in my closet and nothing was looking right. And we were going to a restaurant and I had already put on my makeup. I was ready to go. I just had to find something to wear. And I just burst out in tears. I just started crying and I ruined all of my makeup and he did not know what to do. He was like, what in the world? And I felt horrible about myself and I couldn't believe I'd let myself get to that point. That was a turning point where I knew something had to give, but I didn't know how to do it. And so I tried to make a few adjustments, but sometimes it takes me a few times. So another huge slap in the face. So that was like maybe July. August, we went to Vegas and I knew I was overweight there, but it was no big deal. I mean, it was on my mind, but then we went to Cabo together, Jeff and I did, and I think I put on another 5 pounds there because it was all inclusive and we were there for like 9 days. I didn't dare weigh, but I knew I was big. I just felt so out of place. I felt it was that one time at a resort that I was just like, I'm the fat girl. Like I felt horrible about myself. And we went on these dune buggy type things. I know that's not the right word, but we went on the sand and the beach. We went on these, I forget what they're called. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so we go on these off-road vehicles or whatever they're called. We had such a great time. And there's photographers everywhere, like kind of like stationed, and you get out and you're looking at this gorgeous ocean, and we got out and explored and had a great time. And I was wearing this hot pink rash guard. We went to get the pictures and look at them. I thought to myself, those are going to be my before pictures because I am not going to look like that. I was bigger than him. He's like 6 foot tall and 200 pounds. And I was like, I look bigger than him. This is awful. I can't believe I've let myself get to this point. And so that was when I decided I was not going to stay here. And I got back home, and as fate would have it, a couple of weeks later at a networking event, I ran into a health coach and she was explaining what she did. And I was like, I need you. Please help me. And I signed up for her program that night. And so that started my health journey mid-September of 2020. And 6 months later, I had dropped 40 pounds. And now I integrated the health coaching program that I lost weight on into my coaching practice so that I can help people that are struggling with their health. It's not just about weight loss. It's a lot about mindset and all the healthy habits that are incorporated into your health. So it's about setting you up for long-term success, because I got there for some reason. For many reasons, I got to that place where I was unhealthy, and a lot of it were my emotions, the eating, not having healthy sleep habits, eating habits, drinking enough water, all the things that go into it. So I'm going to talk about those on later episodes, the individual healthy habits that do go into your health. They affect not only your weight, but they also affect your emotions, which in turn affect your relationships. So we need to pay attention to those. Your physical health and your emotional health are tied together so closely. They're interwoven, and you can't pay attention to one without paying attention to the other. So I just was so determined to gain mastery over my weight, over this thing that it just was all consuming at that point. I was like, I have to get a hold of this. And I did. And now it feels amazing to have melted the fat off my body. And now it's not a distraction. It's not a hindrance. It's something that doesn't bog me down. I love helping other people feel good about themselves and get into a healthier place and feel great about their bodies and their life in general. So that's my weight loss story. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful that I can relate to people in that way, because before, the only time I was relatively even overweight at all was after pregnancies, which some people would say that doesn't even count. So I was borderline obese on the chart, which the charts are kind of strict, but I was in a bad place. So I just want y'all to know that I can definitely empathize with you if you're struggling with your body image or you feel like you are not in a healthy place. I do know how that feels. I didn't feel good about myself at all, and I was really struggling, and you can definitely master it. And there is help and there is hope, even if it's your hormones, even if you're in your mid 40s, like I am in almost my late 40s. And even if you're in perimenopause or menopause, or you have other hormonal issues, definitely there's help for you. So hope this encourages you today to know that you can take charge of your health. I'll see you next time in the coaching closet. Thank you for joining me today on the Coaching Closet. My hope is that with each episode, you will discover, like an amazing puzzle, all of the unique pieces in your life fit together to create the beautiful image of you. If you find this podcast to be helpful and would like to share with others, please do me a quick favor and leave a review on Apple Podcasts. This helps to make the podcast more visible. Thanks again for spending your time with me today. Be sure to visit me at coachingcloset.com for past episodes and gifts to help you find your beauty from the inside out.